Common questions about walking the way. What is the ideal Wayist man and Wayist woman like?
The ideal Wayist man takes his example from Lord Jesus, a being of both strength and tenderness. He is a dignified man who carries himself with quiet power, not from position or authority, but from inner cultivation. His intellect is sharp, but tempered by compassion. His self-restraint comes not from rigid control, but from deep understanding. He exudes wisdom, gained through living life fully and remaining eternally curious about existence. He is a keen observer of life in all its forms, watching how birds build nests, how trees weather storms, how children play without pretense. He sees the divine dancing in all things. Slow to judge others, but quick to examine himself, he prioritizes continuous self-development while maintaining humility about his progress. Joy flows naturally from him. He laughs easily and plays with childlike wonder, yet carries himself with mature grace. He forms deep bonds with nature's beings, considering them his teachers and friends, while being selective and authentic in human relationships. His protection of family comes not from possessiveness, but from wise love that helps others grow strong. He cultivates wealth in all its forms: wisdom, compassion, skill, relationships, and sometimes material abundance, but remains unattached to possessions. He appreciates the authentic and time-tested, finding beauty in worn wooden bowls and wrinkled faces. As a teacher and father, he prepares loved ones not just to survive, but to thrive, imparting both practical skills and spiritual wisdom. He protects his loved ones with his life, never speaks bad of them to others, respects them, and keeps them in line so they will enjoy the respect of society, and as a team, they work together to get through this life.
The ideal Wayist woman takes her example from Mari of Magadha, a being who transformed suffering into boundless compassion. She carries herself with quiet dignity, born not of social position, but of self-knowledge. Her strength flows from having faced life's darkest corners, yet emerging with light in her heart. She is a discerning woman who sees through illusion to truth, having learned to trust her inner knowing. Her intellect is keen, but balanced by deep intuition. Her power comes not from control, but from understanding the flow of life's energies. She has learned to dance with both shadow and light, finding wisdom in all experiences. Her compassion runs deep, but is tempered by wisdom. She knows when to nurture and when to challenge, when to comfort and when to step back. She carries herself with a natural grace that comes from self-acceptance rather than external validation. Her joy bubbles up from an inner wellspring, untainted by life's hardships. She forms profound connections with others while maintaining healthy boundaries. Having learned the delicate balance between giving and preserving herself, her protection of those in her care comes from wisdom rather than fear. She teaches through example as much as through words, showing others how to transform their wounds into wisdom. Like Mari, she understands that true power lies not in domination, but in the capacity to remain open-hearted despite life's challenges. She cultivates beauty in all its forms, in relationships, in creative expression, in daily acts of kindness. Her wealth lies in her ability to find light in darkness and to help others do the same. She walks between worlds with grace, equally at home in contemplation or celebration, in solitude or community. She knows that the divine feminine expresses itself not just in nurturing, but also in fierce protection of what is true and good. As a teacher and guide, she helps others find their own inner knowing while walking their unique path. She protects her loved ones with her life, never speaks bad of them to others, respects them and keeps them in line so they will enjoy the respect of society. And as a team, they work together to get through this life.
Does this mean I have to abandon my religious and cultural traditions? No, Wayism teaches practical spiritual evolution rather than requiring religious conversion. The key is understanding your true purpose while engaging consciously with life's opportunities for growth. Many people incorporate these understandings while maintaining their cultural identity.
How do I explain this path to my religious family? Focus on what you're developing rather than what you're leaving behind. Share your experiences of positive growth, increased peace, and deeper understanding. Let your evolution speak for itself through how you live and love.
If we're all evolving anyway, why be conscious of it? Think of it like swimming. You can float downstream without awareness, or you can swim purposefully toward your destination. Being conscious of your evolution allows you to participate actively, rather than just being carried along by circumstances.
What about evil and suffering in the world? Unlike religious views of cosmic warfare between good and evil, Wayism understands that what we call evil often reflects natural behavior of souls at earlier stages of development. Just as we don't call a toddler evil for being self-centered, we understand that souls act according to their level of development.
Do I need a teacher or guru? While teachers can be helpful, your primary guide is your divine Tara. The key is developing your ability to recognize and follow this inner guidance. Teachers should help you connect directly with divine wisdom, not become intermediaries.
How do I know if I'm making progress? Look for increasing awareness of energy and its effects, greater compassion without losing discernment, more authentic living and clearer intuition, better handling of life's challenges, growing sense of purpose and meaning, natural development of divine qualities.
What if I make mistakes? Mistakes aren't sins requiring forgiveness, they're learning opportunities. The law of karma ensures we get the experiences we need for growth. Sometimes, these lessons come through what we'd call mistakes.
I am afraid to switch to Wayism. What if I am wrong, and God punishes me, send me to hell? This is a deeply personal concern that deserves honest consideration. If you're coming from an Abrahamic religious background, you've been taught to view divine reality through the lens of reward and punishment, with eternal consequences for choosing incorrectly. The fear this creates is real and shouldn't be dismissed lightly. If you truly believe this, there is no other way but for you to fully commit to your faith right now and live its prescriptions diligently and make sure you do not violate any rule. But if you have doubt, yet still ask, well, that's not easy to answer because you have to make some decisions first. In that case, read on. Consider, though, what this fear reveals about the nature of the divine being you've been taught to worship, a deity who demands belief under threat of eternal torture, who requires blood sacrifice, even of his own son, for forgiveness, who commands the annihilation of entire peoples, including baby children and their dogs, and enslavement of the daughters. These characteristics align more with ancient human rulers than with divine reality. Throughout history, this concept of deity has been used to justify some of humanity's darkest actions. Empire building, cultural destruction, and religious warfare have all been sanctioned by these teachings. The biblical record itself documents divinely ordered genocides and cruel punishments that would horrify us if reported in today's news. In fact, biblical and Quran accounts of the gods' dealings are regarded as crimes against humanity. There is no place in modern society for inciting hatred against groups, and calls for genocide and large-scale warfare against people whose crime is they don't believe in your version of God. It is hard to understand the difference between the Satan of those scriptures and the God. Many Wayists who came from Abrahamic backgrounds reached a point where they could no longer reconcile these teachings with their deepening spiritual awareness. The transition wasn't about being Jewish enough or not reading the Bible correctly. It was about their higher consciousness awakening to a more profound understanding of divine reality. However, if this fear of divine punishment still holds power over you, you may not be ready for this transition. That's perfectly okay. Some people find it helpful to explore Wayist teachings while maintaining their Christian practice, a gradual approach that allows for gentle evolution rather than abrupt change. There's no rush. Your spiritual journey is uniquely yours, and it must unfold at its own natural pace. Remember, true divine beings are naturally beneficent. They cannot be otherwise. Fear of punishment reveals more about human control systems than about actual divine reality. When you're ready to explore beyond these limitations, you'll find that authentic spiritual growth has nothing to do with appeasing an angry deity and everything to do with developing your own divine nature.
How does Wayism fit with modern science? Many Wayist understandings align with current scientific discoveries. From quantum physics revelations about energy to neuroscience's findings about consciousness and the organic minds of organs and biome, science often confirms what ancient wisdom has taught. We have been teaching this since the time when science taught the sun revolves around the earth and accused us of lying about the existence of germs and viruses and the mind in fundamental particles. We don't need to choose between scientific and spiritual understanding. They serve two separate domains, the domain of material energy and the domain of spiritual energy. See our book, The Way to Wholesomeness, on Wayism.net, which speaks to the science and psychology why Wayists are happier and more successful than most people.
What's the end goal? Unlike religious paths promising eternal paradise or threatening endless punishment, Wayism sees spiritual evolution as ongoing. Even after becoming a spiritual being, there's continued growth and service. The goal isn't escape from existence, but transformation into higher forms of being and service.
How do I start? Begin where you are. The only ritual that all Wayists perform is the dayspring washing. Start there, and over time, you will notice how that simple ritual changes your life bit by bit. The chapter, Living Waters, speak to it. Recognize that consciously starting out on this path is in fact a big deal. It's not only a major life event, it's the start of a new direction, new focus, and new worldview. You will change. Don't sweat the small things. You read this book and your spirit jumped out and grabbed hold of it, wants to own it. Your soul remembered it from past lives and wants it. You are going by your heart and higher self minds. Yes, brain mind and Manipura soul mind will have many questions and warnings and feel left out, pouting. But this is not their path. It's your higher self path. Truly, there is not much to learn, just a lot to unlearn. If you don't already have one, make yourself a little home shrine. just a space on a clean surface where you collect some things that connect you to the larger energy ecology out there. Some ideas of what many of us do, for example, look for little feathers dropped by birds, a twig, a leaf, a pebble, a rock, a twig of an aromatic herb, a flower, a paper with a message important to you, a book. These things become friends in that we all share energy and history, we all walked a path, and we are all alive with universal energies, and our bodies all die, and our souls come back for new incarnations. In that, we are siblings and neighbours. Hug them close. Form an image in mind of what Lord Jesus looks like now that you see him differently. It's just a brain-mind help. And same with what you resonate with, how your divine guide looks. This will help brain-mind go with the new flow. Get hold of a Wayist book or two. I suggest The Way of the Heart-Mind as a starter because it highlights the teachings unique of Wayism. Everyone will eventually get themselves a copy of Primary Teaching the Way, which is available in soft and hard cover. It has 119 short chapters and contains all the ancient Wayist teaching, clear and beautiful. The book, The Way of the Divine Taras, is nice to have. And a lot of people like The Way to Know Your Path, and for young people try. My forever friend and my personal favourite is The Hardest Right I Ever Did, is Ridley the Raindrop Who Didn't Like to Get Wet. Join Wayist.life, the online community. Don't be worried when you are seemingly being ignored by others. We see Wayists do that out of respect for every person's journey. Reach out when you feel like it, or have a question. You may just find the community open up more than expected. Say hi, I will say hi back at you. Work on becoming more joyful and inquisitive and adventurous. Seek life experiences and sensuous experiences. Go out there and have a real life. This is what you came to Earth for, to live a full and authentic life. Connect with your divine Tara. It's easy. Just get into a higher self frame of mind and be authentic and pray, Lord, please help me connect with you. Then listen in your quiet. Try and try again, if not successful at first. It's merely a matter of finding the right high energy with which your deity can resonate with your energy. You have to get up there and hit that high note in yourself. And when you connect, you will know. It gets easier and clearer as you go. Always be listening, inspiration and connection. Sometimes comes unexpectedly when your energies are still and your mind is clear. Practice conscious living. Develop energy awareness. Learn from every experience. Serve where you can. Helping in the online community is a great place to start if you don't yet have another calling. Remember, the path isn't about confessing belief to some cause or deity. It's about developing your divine nature through conscious evolution. Every step, every challenge, every joy becomes opportunity for growth when you understand its true purpose.